you know you're driving off with the best rate.
PenFed's got great rates for everyone.
Tonight, the Roseanne uproar, ABC canceling her show. Her racist tweet, and within hours, the decision to end the show. The star tweeting about a former top advisor to President Obama. Tonight, ABC calling the tweet, quote, abhorrent. And this evening, many of her own co-stars now reacting. Also tonight, the deadly storms, the flash flooding, new images now emerging. The National Guardsman swept away while trying to help a woman. Tonight, the discovery. And in the middle of the country, the tornadoes and now severe storms this evening up through Minneapolis. And heavy rain headed for Chicago. Breaking developments moments ago, the resignation. Missouri Governor Good evening. It is great to be back with you after the Memorial Day holiday, and we begin tonight with Roseanne Barr. Her unexpected comeback suddenly cut short in the last 24 hours by her own words after a racist tweet she sent about a former top aide to President Obama. Within hours, her show was canceled by ABC, and tonight the president of ABC Entertainment, Channing Dungey, describing Roseanne's tweet as abhorrent and repugnant. Roseanne and the cast of her original sitcom returning, and it seemed for a time connecting with millions in this polarizing moment in our country, with many families divided, often under the same roof. But tonight, the word she used in that tweet has left the CEO of our parent company, Disney, Bob Iger, to tweet, "There was only one thing to do here, the right thing." ABC's chief national correspondent, Matt Gutman, leading us off.
It was the comeback that reflected the times. 27 million Americans tuning into the premiere. But today, Roseanne Barr's own words sewed her show's fate. The comedian posting a since-deleted racist tweet about a former advisor to Barack Obama, Valerie Jarrett, writing, "If the Muslim Brotherhood and Planet of the Apes had a baby equals VJ." Barr later tweeting, "Forgive me, my joke was in bad taste."
I'm not afraid of you.
Give it time.
But less than 12 hours after that first tweet, ABC pulling the plug on Roseanne. The head of ABC Entertainment, Channing Dungey, saying Roseanne's Twitter statement is abhorrent, repugnant, and inconsistent with our values, announcing that we've decided to cancel her show. Disney CEO Bob Iger soon adding there was only one thing to do here, and that was the right thing.
I don't think I've ever seen a show at this height be canceled this fast because of one action, because of one person.
The show had successfully portrayed a family divided by its political opinions. Supporters of Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump sitting around the same kitchen table.
How could you have voted for him, Roseanne?
He talked about jobs, Jackie. He said he'd shake things up.
And when the show premiered, he also talked about those ratings.
And look at Roseanne. I called her yesterday. Look at her ratings. Look at her ratings.
But Roseanne's Twitter feed had become notorious, filled with hateful tweets and conspiracies just over the past 24 hours. And even before the show was axed, producer Wanda Sykes announced she was leaving, refusing to remain silent. Executive producer Sarah Gilbert calling those comments abhorrent and do not reflect the beliefs of our cast and crew or anyone associated with our show. Michael Fishman saying he is devastated for all those who poured their hearts and souls into our jobs and the audience that welcomed us into their homes. Adding to sit back or remain silent would unintentionally endorse statements which I find truly offensive. And late today, Valerie Jarrett responding on MSNBC.
I think we have to turn it into a teaching moment. I'm fine. I'm worried about all the people out there who don't have a circle of friends and followers who come right to their defense.
So let's get to Matt Gutman. He's live with us tonight from Los Angeles. And Matt, not only has her show been dropped, but tonight her agent has also dropped Roseanne as well.
Yeah, and it came with the same speed and finality as her show was canceled. Now, ICM, that's her agency, putting out a statement saying that her tweet was, quote, antithetical to their core values. And there was clearly a trend here because before she went after Valerie Jarrett, she had targeted Susan Rice. Now, she was President Obama's national security advisor. That was back in 2013. She also compared her to an ape. David.
Matt Gutman leading us off tonight. Matt, our thanks to you. We are going to move on this Tuesday night to the deadly storms, tornadoes, and now severe storms right into the evening. Alberto, after slamming ashore, tracking north at this hour, tropical downpours in Fayetteville, North Carolina, and across the southeast, Nashville, Indianapolis, and Chicago now in the path as well for heavy rain. In the heartland tonight, fierce winds knocking semis over in Kansas. Tonight, 13 million Americans from Oklahoma to Minnesota at risk. ABC's Steve Osunsami in the storm zone tonight.
What's left of Alberto is still strong enough tonight to bring down trees over homes. This was Montgomery, Alabama today. In the Birmingham area, the driver of this white SUV made it out alive after high winds knocked a tree on top of the truck. It was one accident after another.
Every trooper on duty is working a wreck right now in Birmingham.
It's the subtropical storm that washed out Memorial Day for millions. TV viewers in the Carolinas tonight are remembering news anchor Mike McCormick and photographer Aaron Smeltzer, who were both killed in the storm when a tree crushed their station vehicle. They had just interviewed a fire chief about the dangerous weather.
And we had talked a little bit about how he wanted us to stay safe and how we wanted him to stay safe. And then, of course, 10, 15 minutes later, we get the call, and it was him and his photographer.
The National Weather Service now says a separate system caused at least 12 reported Memorial Day tornadoes in northeastern Colorado near the Kansas border.
And Steve Osunsami with us live tonight from Decatur, Alabama. And Steve, you told us the power company there will work into the night to try to restore electricity. But there's another major concern right now, the saturated ground.
That's right, David. You know, this just didn't happen overnight. They're telling us that the reason why those trees are falling is because there have been weeks of stormy activity that have just saturated the earth. And as you mentioned, those power outages tonight in Alabama, about 20,000 power customers will likely have to get through the night without power. David?
Steve, thank you. Before we move on, we're also following another disaster unfold tonight after the epic flooding in Maryland, several feet of water. You saw it tear through the streets of Ellicott City with no warning, a powerful force destroying everything in its path. Well, late today, after a search for a National Guardsman who'd been helping a woman, officials have now found his body. ABC's Eva Pilgrim is there.
Angry storm water invading Ellicott City, Maryland. Floods rushing down Main Street Sunday. A man seen here swept up in the devastating water, a house crumbling right behind him. This was a parking lot here before the flood, and this was it after. Tonight, that water is gone, but complete destruction left behind.
You can see the sheer force of the water as it came barreling down this hill, tearing up the sidewalk, throwing roots and debris.
Those who escaped with their lives were allowed to return for the first time today to assess the damage. Megan Clark owns a toy shop right behind these two overturned cars. She was trying to help others get out in time.
You know, I'm standing outside of her doorway on the sidewalk in waist-high water, and, you know, I'm just like, we gotta go. We can't, we're gonna die.
The floods claiming at least one life. 39-year-old National Guardsman Edison Herman. This storm was the second of its kind to hit this small town in just the last 2 years.
But I'm not gonna give up.
Eva Pilgrim back with us tonight. She's live from that devastated town, Ellicott City, Maryland. And Eva, as you said, this is now the second storm of its kind to hit this community in just 2 years. I know the city was putting new safeguards in place, so what happened?
Oh, that's exactly right. The city says they did everything they could to be prepared. The updated retention wall did not fail. It is still standing. After 2016, they made many plans for projects. The problem, David, those projects take time.
Eva Pilgrim with us tonight as well. Eva, thank you. Let's get right to Chief Meteorologist Ginger Zee. And Ginger, we know the flooding in Maryland is over, at least for now, but the real threat you're watching right now, right in the middle of the country.
Happening as we speak, David. Straight to the map we go, and you can see the severe thunderstorm watches that go right through Minnesota, Iowa, right into Kansas. The tornado watch for Woodward, Oklahoma. More than 50 severe storm reports already, and we're just early in the evening. Then the circulation of what is left of Alberto, you can clearly see it on as it moves north. It's right now about Florence, Alabama. It's going to be in Kentucky early tomorrow morning, and then by tomorrow night, I'm concerned about Chicago for its evening commute. We've got flash flood watches all the way east to Roanoke.
All right, Ginger, you'll be watching this straight through GMA. Thank you. We turn next tonight to President Trump trying to save the summit with North Korea. The president had canceled the summit in a letter to Kim Jong-un, but today the president tweeting that his letter got a solid response. We know that U.S. teams are in the DMZ and in Singapore, and tonight a top North Korean spy master appears to be on his way to the U.S., the highest-ranking North Korean official to set foot here in nearly 2 decades. Here's ABC senior White House correspondent Cecilia Vega tonight.
Mr. President!
From President Trump today,
North Korea!
No comment on the fate of his summit with North Korea, but in a sign that the on-again, off-again meeting may now be close to being back on, the former head of North Korea's spy agency, Kim Yong-chol, was spotted at the Beijing airport on his way to New York for a sit-down with Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, a close advisor to Kim Jong-un. That's him just last week with his boss during a high-stakes meeting at the DMZ. He also met with Pompeo in Pyongyang and was right next to Ivanka Trump at the Winter Olympics. The White House also dispatching aides to Singapore.
Have a lot of meetings today.
In a race to finalize plans. After President Trump wrote Kim Jong-un and abruptly canceled the meeting, even threatening North Korea with what he called America's massive and powerful nuclear capabilities, the White House is now changing its tune, calling it President Trump's expected summit. The president had offered enticements like Kim's protection.
I will guarantee his safety, yes. His country will be rich.
And today on Twitter, he sounded increasingly optimistic, citing North Korea's, quote, solid response to his letter, saying, sorry, I've got to start focusing my energy on North Korea nuclear and other priorities and not the rigged Russia witch hunt.
So let's get to Cecilia Vega. She's live at the White House tonight. And Cecilia, we know Secretary of State Pompeo has met with Kim Jong-un twice before. He's now set to meet for a third time with that North Korean official, that spy master here in New York. So bottom line here, the summit date just 2 weeks from today. Is the White House confident it can pull this off?
Well, David, just a few minutes ago, Sarah Sanders told reporters that they will be ready for a meeting to take place on June 12th. So they feel like they can pull this one off. The State Department said today that they've been in touch and engaged with North Korean officials and that they've made tremendous progress. So for now, David, it seems like it could be a go.
All right, we'll check back in with you tomorrow night. Cecilia, thank you. Next tonight, embattled Missouri Governor Eric Greitens just moments ago announcing he will resign effective Friday. He was once a rising star of the Republican Party. Missouri lawmakers have been moving to possibly impeach him. ABC's Alex Perez on Greitens' fall from grace and his own explanation just a short time ago for his resignation.
Tonight, embattled Missouri Governor Eric Greitens bowing to pressure.
Good afternoon. Today, I am announcing that I will resign as governor of Missouri effective Friday, June 1st at 5 p.m.
Greitens' fall from grace accelerated after he was charged with felony invasion of privacy. The charges stemming from an affair he had with a former hairdresser before becoming governor. The woman accused him of taking a partially nude photo of her and threatening to distribute it if she told anyone about their sexual encounters. Greitens slamming Missouri legislators who on May 18th started the process of impeaching the governor to remove him from office.
This is a political witch hunt.
Investigators never found the alleged picture, and that invasion of privacy charge was dismissed. Until today, Greitens had remained defiant.
That I am not perfect, but I have not broken any laws nor committed any offense worthy of this treatment.
Greitens now faces a separate criminal case where he's accused of illegally obtaining a donor list to raise campaign funds. David?
Alex Perez with the breaking news. Alex, thank you. Now to the terror attack overseas tonight, a gruesome and deadly attack today on 2 female police officers, both of them mothers, stabbed and then shot to death with their own weapons. It happened in Belgium, the attack ending when other officers then gunned the assailant down. Well, tonight here, images of the takedown and word the suspect had just been let out for a 2-day leave from prison. ABC's James Longman is on the scene for us.
Watch as police approach a gunman holed up inside, and then the volley of bullets, cutting him down in broad daylight. Tonight, Belgium reeling from another suspected terror attack. At 10:30 local time in the city of Liège, a man armed with a knife stabbed 2 policewomen from behind. Both were mothers, one with 13-year-old twin daughters. The suspect is alleged to have shouted, "Allahu Akbar, God is great," as he attacked them. Stealing their guns, he shot them both dead.
He left the 2 bodies there on the sidewalk before making his way up this street. He was firing at random with the guns that he'd stolen before killing a 22-year-old man in a nearby car.
He then went into this school, holding a woman hostage before rushing at police outside.
The gunman injured 4 police officers before they brought him down.
The suspect is reported to be 36-year-old Benjamin Herman, a Belgian native. Police say he was on 2-day prison leave and was to return to prison today.
And James Longman with us from Belgium tonight. And James, Belgian authorities do believe the suspect may have been radicalized while in prison.